The whole school was talking about how Ben and Stacy started dating.
Ooh, girl, you really chose your date, didn't you? Terrible, terrible timing. Welcome back to another true story animation, where today I'll be reacting to I got stuck in my crush's locker and I saw everything. I saw this and was instantly super curious. How did she get stuck inside of a locker? And what did she see? We need to know the answers to these ridiculous questions. Also guys, before this video starts, make sure to turn notifications on for the channel. Simply go down there and hit the bell. Also, while you're there, make sure to leave a like. And now let's watch this crazy animation. Headset on. Reveal your secrets to me.
Hello, I'm Sam.
Hi, Sam.
And I will share with you a creepy story that happened to me. So, I'm a 17 years old high school student, and I have a crush on a guy called Ben. He doesn't know it yet, but I'm planning on telling him soon.
Ooh, yes sis, go get your man.
Ben and I share most of our classes. Well, honestly, I joined the classes that he did just so that I get closer to him.
Okay, because that's not totally creepy and insane. Take the classes that you want to take. Don't take them for somebody else.
I think Ben thought I'm weird because I ended up in all of his classes.
Because that is weird.
Today at school, I bumped into him and he made a disgusted face and walked away. I knew it would be hard to confess straight to his face. So, I had to write him a letter instead.
Yeah, this is really creepy. She's even gotten herself a love heart envelope.
I prepared a pink letter covered with red hearts.
What did it say? We must try to decipher this. Love you.
I expressed all my feelings to him in it. Next morning, when I came to school, and I went to Ben's seat and left the letter in his backpack. As I walked out, the whole school was talking about how Ben and Stacy started dating.
Ooh, girl, you really chose your date, didn't you? Terrible, terrible timing.
My heart was shattered. I felt hopeless. So I ran to the bathroom and just sat there and cried my eyes out.
Why didn't you run back to the backpack, take out the letter, and pretend that nothing ever happened? That's what I would have done anyway.
Then I washed my face and dried it with toilet paper on my way out. I heard Ben and his friends coming towards the bathrooms. Then I heard someone saying, "Did you see Sam? She's totally into you. She burst into tears when she saw you with Stacy."
Ooh, that must hurt hearing that. People are aware that you have begun crying in the bathroom. That's a no from me.
What did I just hear? Are they laughing at me? I had to follow them, but they went into the shower room. I still had to hear everything they said about me. Curiosity kills me.
This is not a good excuse to follow a bunch of boys into a shower. I would advise against this. But I think she's gonna do it anyway.
I tried to listen through the door, but it wasn't clear enough, so I had to walk in.
No, you didn't have to walk in. That was a choice that you just made.
I snuck in quietly while the boys were showering.
Girl, this is so weird. Like, really weird.
I approached Ben's locker just to see what he keeps there. I saw his name on the locker, so I opened it, and I heard the water turn off, and the boys were coming towards the lockers. I freaked out, so I hopped in the locker hoping that Ben won't open it, and there he was, standing like a model in a white towel, drying his hair with another towel.
Oh gosh, she is officially creeping on him. This is not okay. Why is she doing this?
My heart was racing, but I'm not sure if it was because I'm in his locker and about to get caught, or because he is so damn handsome. All the boys started opening their lockers, so I planned to act like I fainted in the locker. But my eyes couldn't let go of Ben as I saw him opening the locker in front of the one in which I was.
She's going to pretend that she fainted into the boys' lockers. Who is going to believe this? Girl, you are crazy.
Which also said Ben. OMG. Am I that stupid to forget that my brother's name is also Ben? I was so blinded by Ben that I hopped into my own brother's locker.
Honestly, that is a better outcome rather than going into his locker and him discovering you. Would you rather that? Because it sounds like you'd rather that.
The boys finished dressing up and left the shower room. I jumped out right away to breathe some fresh air and tried to walk out, but the shower room was locked.
Well, You're just gonna have to live in the shower room now until somebody discovers you. And it's all your fault. You were trying to be sneaky and now you're locked in.
I decided to go through Ben's stuff and wait for someone to come open the door.
Oh my gosh, of course she did. Also, are these lockers not locked? I'm pretty sure they're called lockers because they're locked.
What excuse do I have for being in the boys' shower room? Well, at least I had Ben's stuff there to explore.
You could say that you come to pick up your brother's books or something. Don't just admit that you're going through your crush's locker. That's if she gets caught anyway.
I opened his locker, found his t-shirt, and felt so happy. Indifferent to the fact that I was locked up in there. Anyway, I found a cute album, so I decided to open it. And I couldn't believe what I saw.
Okay, this better be good. Because right now, I'm creeped out at the fact that she's doing this anyway. She should not be going through his personal items.
I dropped the album and just stood there shaking.
Why are her legs so tall right now? She is looking like Slenderman. Or should I say, Slender Woman. I hate myself.
I picked it up again to see if what I saw was correct. And there were my pictures.
Ooh. What does she mean that they were her pictures? Does he secretly have a crush on her and she doesn't know about it?
Pictures of me eating. Pictures of me going to bed.
Okay, maybe they were made for each other. These guys are both so strange.
Pictures of me changing clothes. Was he stalking me? Ben is a stalker?
Don't tell me you're not okay with that. You are madly in love with him to the point where you are stalking him. You're both stalking each other.
Is it really Ben? I can't believe this. I even couldn't feel love to him anymore. I felt creeped out.
And I think he'd feel creeped out too if he knew what you were doing. You're both as bad as each other. Then again, taking pictures of someone without them knowing is really bad. Really, really bad.
The sun went down and the shower room started to get cold. And I was all alone with no backpack and no phone, stuck in that cold place with that horrible fact. I just waited for my brother to notice that I'm not home, and decided to take a nap on the floor.
Can you imagine the scenario? You walk in, there's a student asleep in the boys' shower room holding a photo album of pictures of herself. What?
Then I heard some noises outside. I waited for the sound to get louder so I can call for help, but maybe it was just the wind. I kept trying to sleep. Then I heard someone getting closer to the door. So I started screaming for help.
Oh my gosh, what happened to her face? I know she's scared right now, but what is that?
And suddenly, in that silence, someone started breaking the door. I yelled, "Coach, is that you?" But to no avail. I started to feel a bit scared as I heard someone breaking the door.
Who is going to be breaking into the boys' shower room at this hour? This is kind of terrifying. I'm scared for her.
Once the door was open, I saw Ben standing there, and he said, "Finally, you're all mine now."
What? It was Ben wearing a cloak, looking evil, and he even said something evil. This guy is evil.
He must have noticed that I'm not in my bedroom to stalk me, so he came searching for me. Or was he stalking me from the very beginning? I don't know anymore, but what do I do now? I hit him with the album and ran down the hallway as he started chasing me.
No way is this story real. I can't believe this. She is now scared of him, and he's chasing her.
But all the school doors were locked. I started panicking. I couldn't breathe or focus properly. I just wanted to escape. I ran and ran, but he ended up catching me. I started begging him, "Please, let me go. I promise I won't tell anyone." I cried and fought for my life, kicked him somehow, and ran away. I kept running in circles. Sooner or later, someone must appear. I started to feel tired and realized he'll get tired soon too, so I can't give up now.
She's being chased through the school by a stalker.
The story has taken turns I never expected it to.
I tried to hide somewhere to get some energy. I was so tired and hungry. And suddenly, I felt him pulling me by my hair from behind.
Oh my gosh, what is he gonna do?
It was getting darker, and I couldn't see much. He dragged me into his car and put me in the front seat.
Ooh, imagining somebody drag you by your hair. Really? Ow! How would that even work? Pretty sure all of my hair would just rip off.
He pointed a gun at me,
He has a gun now? What the heck? Where did he get that?
threatening me that if I move, he'll shoot me. I was so scared, I couldn't move either way. He took me to some cabin in the woods.
Of course he did. He just has a cabin in the woods that he's gonna take you to.
I couldn't move either way. He took me to some cabin in the woods and tied me to a chair. He said that he loved me and will always love, and that he will take care of me forever, and that all I had to do is stay in that cabin. He is sick.
So are you. You both are. I mean, what he's doing is like 10 levels above what you've done, but I think you both need help. Him especially.
How didn't I notice earlier? How can it be that the sweet guy I had a crush on is an obsessed psychopath? He gave me everything: clothes, food, and forced hugs.
Forced hugs. She is not enjoying that.
But it still didn't feel right. Day by day, he woke up, handcuffed me, and went to school.
What about your parents? What about your brother? Has nobody noticed that you're missing?
And when he came back, he unlocked me, fed me, and took good care of me. He brought our homework to me and taught me everything they learned at school.
Wow, he really cares about your education. Cute. No, it's not cute. None of this is cute.
He even tested me to keep my mind updated. He bought me lots of gifts, day by day. Roses, candies, makeup, nail polishes, etc. He let me use his iPad only when he's watching.
I hate it when I'm using my phone and somebody is looking over my shoulder, looking at what I'm doing. So I can't imagine the only time she gets to use the iPad is when somebody else is watching. That is just hell on earth for me.
And while I was scrolling down on Facebook, I saw a post with my picture that said, "Missing." He took the iPad and said, "That's enough for today." He gave me a kiss on my forehead, turned off the lights, and handcuffed me again, just like he had always done. I laid my head on the pillow and started crying. He lied next to me and said, "It will be okay. I promise."
It's gonna be okay. You're just handcuffed to a bed and will be for the rest of your life. At least try and make her feel a little bit better than that. Or maybe just don't say anything. Maybe saying nothing is better.
At night, I heard a car driving, but for some reason, it didn't even alert me. When he left in the morning, Ben forgot to handcuff me, but I didn't want to run. I didn't want to go back home and school. I just wanted to stay with Ben.
Don't tell me she has Stockholm Syndrome. This is where you fall in love with your captor. And I think it's happening to her, even though she was already in love with him. I don't know, this one is complicated.
I felt warm with him. I cleaned up the cabin and prepared food and took a shower and waited for Ben to come. When he came back to a cooking smell, he looked shocked. I ran to him and gave him a hug and said, "You're finally home." He didn't say anything and just silently started eating.
Why does he look so mad? And what the heck is wrong with that fork? That is the most uneven fork I have ever seen in my life.
After he'd eaten, I gave him some clean clothes and told him to take a shower so I could massage his back later. He did as I said without saying a word. I waited for him on the couch and thought about all the things I want to talk with him about.
Okay, she's officially gone insane. She even looks insane.
He came out from the bathroom in his clean pajamas that I gave him and sat next to me on the couch. I patted his head and asked him if he'd like to drink something sweet, and he shook his head no, and just stared at me the whole time.
Both of these people are really creepy and they're scaring me. Anybody else?
I asked him, "Aren't your parents angry that you didn't sleep at home for days?" He replied, "My parents are alcoholics." I started telling him what a great person he is, and how I had a crush on him, and probably still do.
He's a great person who commits the act of stalking and then commits the act of kidnapping. I'm not sure if you can be a great person when you're doing those things.
He said, "But how? I kidnapped you." I know it is weird, but I was happy he did. The next day, he left earlier, and at the evening, he didn't come back home. I got worried. What if something happened to him on the way home? I spent the night all alone in the woods, and waited for Ben to come back.
That is scary. I would not like to be out there at nighttime on my own. The forest and the woods as well. There's so many animals out there making strange sounds.
I decided to wait one more night, but he still didn't appear. I finally dressed up and got out from the cabin and started walking towards the lights of the street.
Oh my gosh, that is terrifying. I wouldn't want to be out there at nighttime.
Confused as I was never there before, I questioned everything around me. He kidnapped me. Isn't he happy that I'm fine with that? I walked and walked on the empty streets, and a man in a car then stopped, saying, "It's the missing girl! It's the missing girl!"
Yay, someone's here to rescue her.
They called the cops, and the cops took me to the police station. And they asked me where I've been all these days.
That cop is so funny looking. He's got no neck. I'm sorry to everyone out there who doesn't have a neck. It just got me. It's so funny.
And I didn't know what to answer, so I just remained silent. I didn't want to hurt the guy I love, but what's my excuse then? My parents were the nicest people to me. I can't get them in trouble as well.
Why don't you just tell them that you got abducted and now you don't know where he is?
I didn't say a word to not hurt anyone, so they called my parents, and my parents took me home. They treated me better than ever, and my brother became nicer than ever with me.
Because you've just been kidnapped and you've been missing for days. They probably thought they were never going to get to see you again. Why is that so hard to understand?
They took me to a psychologist, and I felt that it would be right to share it with him. A week later, I started going to school again, and I finally saw Ben again. He tried to ignore me, but I went after him. He turned around and said, "Sam, I'm sorry for everything. I was using you, and I got out of my mind. I can't hurt you anymore. I will turn myself in, I promise. Please, don't become crazy because of me." Crazy? Because of him? I went to my psychologist that day and told him what Ben said, and he told me that he is right, and that I have developed a syndrome which is called Stockholm Syndrome.
I knew it! Yay! Maybe I should be a psychologist. No, I'm happy being a YouTuber.
And it happens when someone goes through an abusive trauma, and that apparently has happened to me. I couldn't believe it. So now I'm the sick one? Ben did turn himself in, and I was getting mental treatment at the hospital.
Oh my gosh, he actually did it. He's going to jail. Good. So you should for kidnapping a 17-year-old.
He got his punishment for dealing with drugs and for kidnapping me. I'm slowly going back to my old routine, but it's not easy.
Wow, that was a roller coaster. I never know what to expect with these stories, but it definitely wasn't that. Anyway guys, if you did enjoy this video and you want to watch another one, click here and let's go watch it together.